Yeah. There are people that I trust that I can have conversations with, that I can be open and transparent with. And as a kid, I remember having conversations with my mom, and she really understood how I was wired and how I thought, like in a very profound way. And she gave me tools at a young age to process my emotions and process how I was feeling and communicate them to other people and be kind of emotionally intelligent. The problem with that is when you are 7 years old and you go and tell somebody in the hood how they make you feel about what they said, like you opening yourself up to just being made fun of more, right? So I had to deal with that, right? Got made fun of even more trying to express that. And so I kind of flipped the script and just kind of led into the anger for many years and shut myself off, didn't trust anybody, but that's not me. And so for a long time, I lived as, like, I was trying to live as somebody else, and I was never healthy. I was never in sync with myself, and I wasn't like honoring the image of God in me. So it was hard to honor the image of God in others. And so now I'm at a point in my life where, I do have people I trust with the things that I'm going through. I do have people from all types of backgrounds that I can engage in honest, real conversation with, and talk about experiences and talk about pain, talk about hurt, talk about all these different things, talk about identity. And it's things I can learn from, right? I'm open to learning and open to reading and hearing other people's. And it's like, oh man, like I watch shows with a different lens. I'm like, I watch different things. It's like, wow, like I see kind of the picture they're painting, and I see things that I can learn from, or it helps me to reframe the way I was thinking about my childhood and my upbringing. And now I have safe places where I can go and engage in those conversations and be open. And I don't feel like they're going to use it against me at some point, right? They're going to come at me, or they're going to, like use it to attack me at some point later. It's like, I have trust, I have community, I have connection, I have real relationship, and I appreciate that, but it takes me being willing to lean into those things.
At first it was hard. I tried to come to my parents and let them know about like let's say, I feel like I got anxiety or things like that. And they completely shut it down, make a joke or things like that. So there has been times where I've tried and it has been shot down, but I just kept pushing at it because I do need the help. I really, really need the help, and I feel better once I can be able to talk to someone. So I feel like I do have people now. I do have people. I kind of expanded that to be open, where I can go talk to my mom and she'll give me her undivided attention and help me, my brother as well, my grandmother as well. But in the beginning it was tough, I'm not gonna say, because I was just like, I didn't want to talk to no one. I did have that for a while, but it was just turning me into a person I didn't want to be, so I had to go seek the help.
Yeah, for sure. I keep a pretty tight circle with me, and my family are super close, so always my mom, my dad, my sister. But I've had a lot of good friends coming up that I always felt comfortable, expressing myself to, even crying in front of them. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I didn't even know I could cry in front of my homeboy like this. So I think it's just important, like, to be able to be open with certain, people, whether it's a therapist or like a homeboy or homegirl or family. Like, I feel like everybody always needs somebody they could talk to. So I've been blessed enough to have those kind of people where I'm comfortable with, and I feel like, I won't get judged for, expressing myself or feeling a certain type of way. So
now with everybody, you gotta know who and what to share with you, you know what I'm saying? Because we know what type of response we gonna get from who we ask from. Just as being who we are as Black people, we up on it.
Of course I have, especially with family and friends, but then also in those same instances, those people can be the people that you feel like you can talk to. But a lot of that comes with, self-doubt and really just not realizing yourself and realizing where you are in your situation, because I can promise you that everything you've gone through and everything you felt has already been felt before by a person, whether it be somebody you know or somebody you don't know. And you won't know that unless you share those experiences. So I think it's very important to be able to share those experiences and those emotions with especially people that are close to you and people that care about you. Because those are the people that are either going to give you the honest truth or going to give you something that's going to help you and not put you down. And you're going to need both of those.
A beautiful Black woman, my Black queen, the mother of my children, the love of my life. And she just makes it really safe for me to be who I am. Sorry.
It's okay. That's a good question.
I think growing up, I didn't always feel as safe to show different emotions or different pieces of myself, or even just acceptance of who I am. So to be married to someone who, you know, it always encourages me just to be who I am, and to know that God created me just the way He made me to be, and that the ways that I feel are normal and appropriate. I'm so blessed to know what it feels like to feel safe in showing my emotions or showing exactly how I feel whenever I feel it.
But I mean, you know, I'm one of those black men that'll tell you I've gotten therapy because I needed therapy, you know, just for different anger management issues, grieving issues, just living. So yeah, you know, in those scenarios, yeah, I've been able to express myself, and then in turn later on with just people that I'm close with, is giving me the tools to be able to, you know, articulate how I feel without being emotional about it, I guess.
I used to be really, like, I guess you could say aggressive, not necessarily towards people, but like punch a wall, tear some shit down. That's how I used to. Now I try to find healthy ways to cope and to release. So whether it's going to the beach to watch the sunset, walking on the sand, crying if I have to, I'll go for a drive and just cry. When I'm happy, you know, just calling the people that I love the most, reaching out, actively showing that I'm thinking about them and that I care about them. Sorrow, yeah, just cry, just cried out.
Anger, I don't know. I'm really like a introvert. When I get upset sometimes I kind of shut down. But like I said, I'm also not like somebody to hold my tongue. So I always speak my mind. But I never really speak my mind out of anger. It's more so out of like trying to get you to understand my point of view, or I try my best to put you in my shoes the same way I try my best to put myself in your shoes. You get what I'm saying? So in moments like that, confrontation, I just let it be and just try to get a deeper understanding, regardless of or not what the other party got going on. As far as joy, I just smile. Like when I'm happy, I just smile. And sorrow, it's okay to cry. You feel me? Like we all got the moments where we just gotta understand, like we hurting. And one thing I learned is like water. Tears is a purification of yourself. You cleansing yourself of that sorrow, and that's how you actually understand what it is and have the ability to move forward.
I am learning how to process emotions in a healthy way, and learning to accept the reality that my emotions are true, but they're not always right. If that makes sense, right? Like what I'm feeling is real. Like I'm really upset. Like that dealing with anger. Like I'm upset right now, but that doesn't mean that like what I'm upset about, I have full understanding of, if that makes sense, right? And so trying to process anger is something my mom taught me, is to stop and to ask myself a few questions. Like, why am I upset? What about that upset me? And then really, what is my anger protecting, right? Because anger is a secondary emotion. Like when you're angry about something, anger is not really what you're feeling, right? It's what you're experiencing is your anger, but your anger is there to protect something else, right? It's like I feel disrespected, and so my response is anger. I feel slighted, so my response is anger. I feel sad, I feel hurt, I feel broken, I feel betrayed, and so my response is anger. And so I'm learning to let that anger teach me rather than lead me. and that's, you know, a hard process, because like my family would tell you that I got a short temper. It's a short fuse. I get mad, and I don't get just like slightly upset. Like I burn hot, right? And so I'm having to learn how to process that emotion in a healthy way and stop, pause, take a deep breath, right? Count to 4, like Daniel Tiger says, and really begin to ask questions about myself and about the situation in that moment and process it. And then if I'm having a hard time, if I get stuck, I have people I can reach out to help me through that process as well. With joy, man, I just take it. I just honestly, I choose to just feel joy, man. Like I love it. Like I can think back to a time in my life where joy was off limits. Like there was a conversation I had with my mother. It was more, not really a conversation. She was talking to me, and I was just kind of brooding. But this was a few months before she passed away, and she made mention to me that how much it hurt her never to see me really experience joy. And I get emotional thinking about that because, like, man, I robbed her of so much, and being able to see her son enjoy life, right? And just take pleasure in the things that God is blessing us with, right? Like even though it was a struggle, it wasn't all bad. You know, I had family, I had love, like I was always provided for. Like I had a safe place at home, man, which is more than a lot of people could say. And so now, man, like I celebrate, man, I party, I have a good time. Like I like the things that God has blessed me with and the people that he has placed in my life, like I celebrate them and I share them with others. Like my joy is not just, I got to share that. Like like just having kids, like being married, like having a healthy marriage and a healthy home, and like being a homeowner, all of these things, man, that I'm not supposed to have according to what like society would tell you, man, I take joy in those things, having healthy relationships with people and being able to laugh and to tell jokes and to share, like to when somebody else is having a good time, to be able to share in that celebration as well, man. Like I love it, man. I take any and every opportunity to celebrate, because joy, man, is necessary. It's strength, right? Like that's one thing that we miss oftentimes, is we think our strength comes from anger and aggression or solitude or whatever. But like scripture tells me that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So being able to find joy, and like it's a choice. Like honestly, man, rejoicing in joy is a choice. It's not happiness. Happiness is based on what happens, right? It's based on happenings. Joy is a choice to celebrate what you have, and to celebrate where you've been, and to celebrate where you're going, right? And joy, like it takes intentionality, but it frees you from so much worry. It frees you from so much guilt. It frees you from shame. Like it's strength, man. It keeps you going. Like I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times a day I smile and I laugh. Like I love sharing laughter. I crack jokes with people. Like I just love it, because to be able to bring joy and laughter and levity into a situation, because life is hard enough as it is. Like we can't go through it brooding and mad and upset all the time. There's an appropriate time and place for those emotions. We got to process those in a healthy way, but we got to choose joy at the end of the day, no matter what, because that's what carries us, man. Like that, like being able to celebrate the success and accomplishes of one another, being able to see people living when everything in their life told them they shouldn't, right? When they had every excuse in the book to go another way, right? To celebrate next steps that people are taking, even though they're not quite where they should be. You see progress, you see growth, right? It could be just as little as a blade of grass popping in a dirt field, but that's something to celebrate, man. Like, and so joy is something that I lean into so much, and sorrow, to be honest. Like I lean into sorrow because sorrow is real, right? I don't hide it. I can't hide it. Like I'm a crier. It's cool. Like I was always taught that was weakness. I was being soft, man. But like it takes real strength to break.
As a way to express myself. You're not supposed to lock down. You're not supposed to corner yourself when you feel a certain way, that some people don't have any other options. So for me, being able to get out on stage and express myself through music and through the art that I love, it helps with, expressing certain emotions. You can't avoid the crying. You're gonna have some of those days where you just gotta grab a pillow and let it out, and and get back to it. But that's the point of understanding that expressing emotion it's not a permanent thing. because you're not going to feel that emotion all the time. So, you know, being able to express through different arts or whatever you like to do, it does help with the expression of your emotions.
Trial and error, I guess, would probably be the best thing. You know, blowing up on the spot, like I figured, like, you know, that you kind of find out early that that's not the best way to do it. You know, getting mad, storming out the house, you know, things like that. Like, so you got to find a constructive way to do things. So for me, I think at one point it was like basketball. You know, I could always talk to I feel like my dad was somebody I could always talk to about anything. So talking to him, and then it became writing. Like I said, walking, driving. So I think you just got to be open to different things. You know what I'm saying? You can't get discouraged if it's hard for you, you know what I'm saying, to express those type of feelings. You know, it's trial and error. Like, you know, we don't stop learning until the day we die, you know? So you got to be open to new things and new ways to express yourself and get everything out.
I'm not very expressive, and so I don't express myself too often through action. But if I'd had to attribute something to my mentality of processing, it would probably be parenthood. My parents, I grew up in a two-parent household. And so, you know, your mother shows you the sensitive aesthetic of life while your father shows you that display of manhood, for lack of better terms, but, you know, still allows you to be sensitive also because, you know, in the household with both people, you know, there's a lot of emotions going on from the man and the woman. And so you kind of see how the man gets to deal with his emotions as well. And so it allowed me to understand that everybody is human and everybody feels things differently, and you just got to feel it. And, you know, maybe somebody can't really relate to your feeling because they feel it differently than you. And so can't nobody tell you that your feeling is wrong. And so if my feeling can never be wrong, then, you know, who am I not to feel it?
Like MMA fighting and just little stuff like that, just play around just to challenge myself. And, you know, I grew up in the hood, you know, we'd fight, you know. There's a difference between scrapping and in a disciplined art, you know. And so when, you know, I had to understand that channeling that anger and still trying to protect myself in advance and win, that's a big thing. You know, it's like again, like you trying to, it's like trying to have a engine revving at the line. You know, you're in control of that car. Every pedal I hit is gonna rev that motor, but at the same time, until I put that motion in gear, I'm not going anywhere. So it's kind of like, you know, you gotta know, like, you know, I'm capable of blowing up, and if I blow up, what's the end result going to be? So it's kind of knowing what that end result, what you want. If you got to kind of know what you want end result wise before you act, because we all have a responsibility, not just a responsibility. I feel somebody just brought this to me the other day and I thought it was dope. He was like, responsibility, like your ability to respond. Like if you, like, you don't have, you know, you don't have an ability to control your response, again, you're giving someone else power over you. And good luck with that.
Love to me is, if I can give a visual, it's like a table, right? Two people come to the table. One person has their wine, their bread, you know, the other person has their wine, their bread. You know, one person can maybe have a steak on their plate, and then this person might have the pasta. You know, there's something that complements each other, as in character traits or like that. We come together to this table, and the love that, for me, I feel like we come and just experience each other's journeys. You know what I'm saying? If you can just come and live life with that person, you know, life is gonna be ups and downs, it's gonna be disagreements, there's gonna be lots of hurtfulness, you know what I'm saying? It's the balance of both. But I feel like if you could just experience their life and then their journeys and their experiences, that's what I feel like love is.
Love to me means that you're able to go to that person or any person that you love and that they love you. You can go to them and you can talk to them about anything. You can express how you feel about anything. any type of support, whether it's financial, emotional, mental, whatever you need, they're there for you and without limit. You know what I'm saying? Like love can't have a limit. It can't have a cap on it. So if there is a cap or if there is a limit, then it's either not real love or it's not sustainable love.
It's our purpose. To me, I feel like the same with any other living thing on earth, we're made to come together and then to grow. The same way like a seed goes into the soil, then it mixes with water, gets some sunlight, and now you got a tree. You feel me? We are living beings just like those trees and those seeds. So love to me is the ultimate frequency, is the ultimate goal. It's the most most powerful emotion is love.
Love is dealing with someone for a long time because you want to, not because you have to. There's a difference between those two. Have to is because you depend on this person and you feel like you have to love them. Wanting to is because you took the time to choose that person because you wanted to have them in their life. And that doesn't mean a loved one. That could be a friend that you had for multiple years, a long time. It could be a dog. It could be something, anything that has a sentimental value to you. And as long as you take it in, cherish it, and you live up to what you like and you love that shit, then that is what defines who you are as well.
You know, and it's like when you think you're in love, but love to me is, man, that's a tough one. I would just say love to me is when I know I could depend on you, communicate with you, and trust you and be honest with you. You feel me? I feel like that's love to me, being honest, being able to trust, being able to communicate, and being able to depend. You know what I mean? Day or night, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I need a favor, can I call on you to do that? If I can, then that's love. You know what I mean? That's what love is to me. Because I would show the same. You know?
Love is when you make everything better. And not necessarily saying that everything has to be the best. There's always going to be downs and lows. And I feel like love is what makes the lows better. So you have to really take accountability, accept life for what it is, and work with what you have. And yeah, if you find people that will do that for you, with you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, then, you know, that's what love is. Someone who's going to accept what is there and grow with it.
I believe that I know how to give love. The problem is you find out that the way that you give love may not be the way that someone receives it. And so I can't tell you if I've given it. But, you know, it's something that I do plan to do. Give love and receive love and be love.
Yes, I've been in love. We talked about that before. Yes, I've been in love. I am still in love, madly in love. And yes, I have learned how to give love as well. And one thing I have learned to give love not only to my spouse, but to everybody that I encounter, everybody letting them be who they are. I'm a leader at work, and one way that I give love to my employees is I listen. Everyone wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be understood. Everybody wants their perspective to be acknowledged and valued. And if I can listen and show you my love and let you know that I hear you and I accept you and I understand where you're coming from, I think that's how I've been able to receive love and then give a little piece of my love to the world by just listening.
I hope so. I think I have. I know I'm not perfect. You know, I know I'm not perfect. Like I said, I think you don't stop learning until you're dead, you know, or dead and gone, at least from this plane. So I would hope, to the best of my ability, I feel like I've done it, you know, at this point, and I'm still learning.
I know how to give love now, after experiences and just different things that I've been through and saw and witnessed. I definitely know how to give love now.
I feel I have. I'm a foster parent, and doing that. You got to be selfless. And but I had to instill in my daughter that no matter who we bring in, what we're doing, no matter who we're helping, it's all for a better cause. And I feel that by me instilling and showing a pure form of love to my daughter, I'm able to be a foster parent and express, emotional love to some maybe kids that may not have ever felt it.
I'm only 24, so I'm learning. You feel me? I give love the best way I know how. From what I learned, like growing up, you feel me? Granted that maybe I wasn't even given the best love. You know what I mean? So maybe I don't know what it looks like. So I'll just do my best with that in that department. There's no real like blueprint or answer to like how to love or what to love. But what I do know is that you definitely have to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you're never gonna feel capable of being somebody else's love, like being the person that somebody else loves. Like you'll just never believe it, and that's just not healthy. You feel me? So yeah.
Oh, have I given or even know how to give love? Yeah, man, I'm grateful that I learned. I'm grateful that I had a mother that loved well. One thing that she did did have a hard time with was loving herself, which is something that I tend to struggle with, but I've been able to seek help with. Been able to get wise counsel, been able to talk with people, been able to, to hear what people are saying and to be in tune and to listen and to not be defensive when people are saying, hey, you need to take care of yourself, you need to rest, you need. So like taking some of those self-care things with the mentality that, hey, I can't love others well unless I love myself first, right? That doesn't mean I'm like selfish. It means I'm taking care of me so that I can take care of we, right? So yeah, I would say with quite a bit of confidence that I have been given love tremendously, a tremendous amount of love in relationships, man, like my wife, my kids, my good friends, like people all around me, family. Like I receive love, and I've been given love, and I receive it, and I'm learning how to give it, and hopefully they would say that that they've received love from me as well.